Okay, this is video one in a series of videos. I don't know how many it's going to span, where we're going to talk about AppFabric 1.1 for Windows Server. We're going to talk about specifically the cache engine contained within it. There's many other things it does, session compression, some other things. But the problem at hand is with WriteBed and replacing the open source caching mechanism used there with the AppFabric 1.1 or couch-based compression engines, depending on which one we go to, but I'm focusing on AppFabric 1.1 because it does so far appear to be the best one for what we do here in Dell as a Microsoft shop, or at least our wing. So what is it? Well, as Microsoft does many times, and in fact many companies do, AppFabric is a combination and extension of many of the products they already had. They had compression technologies, they had session management technologies, they've had caching technologies, or they acquired them. Either way, it's theirs now. So they rolled them all up into AppFabric 1.0 a couple of years ago, and now AppFabric 1.1, which isn't it's a huge update to 1.0. So if you have on your development machines 1.0, I found the easiest thing to do is just nuke that and start over with a fresh AppFabric 1.1 install. I'm going to try to keep these videos short, less than 10 minutes each, and break it into sections. Publish it here on our server 2008 in the home. Thank you to my wife Lisa, who is letting me use many of her commercial software projects, or commercial software licenses for some of the technologies I'm using here. I guess I should say that this video comes after a very long 2 weeks researching this and Couchbase, and in the last 72 hours I've had about 10 hours of sleep. So there could be some mistakes made as we go through this, so please bear with me. I'm not going to be editing these videos. They're going to be extemporaneous, if you will, and we're just going to go through it much like a lab. So what I've got up first is I've got the AppFabric homepage. The address is at the top. Feel free to go there. I know they do have quite a few resources here. They have training and videos and some other things you can go through. Tutorials, the training kit, which is a fairly large download, and some samples. The samples, really, there's only 3. What I'm going to show you here over the course of these videos addresses pretty much everything that we care about in the samples. There's going to be a little CSLA thrown in here, though not much. There's a business object I want to write I haven't got to yet, but I did integrate CSLA technologies into the application, which we'll go through. If you want to learn about CSLA, you can go to loka.net, and this is Rockford Loka. He works for a company called Magenic. He started CSLA years and years and years ago, and I started with the project shortly after. It's an open source project, but it is commercially tied, and what that means is you can use it in anything you want, but there is a pretty big company, Magenic, that co-sponsors this, so it would be likened to the way Red Hat is sponsoring the commercial project, and then there's an open source. But CSLA is only one version. Rocky makes it freely available, and he has quite a few conferences he attends, like the one I've personally been to several times and I highly recommend is VS Live. Make sure you get the labs before and after. There's there's an added cost for that. I've gone to the one twice in Vegas, and both times I've gone through Rocky's hands-on labs with CSLA. It is a really, really, really good development framework, if you will, and I really like the paradigm that they've adopted in developing it. So That's just an offshoot for CSLA. Windows PowerShell 2.0. We're in the prerequisites here for the AppFabric install. You have to have PowerShell 2.0, and you're going to need SQL Express in this demo here because it's on development machine. I personally have SQL Express 2012 that I'm running a database in, a database called Rolodex.SQLExpressDB. This is the actual database file that is part of the project. So we'll get to that in video 2, actually configuring the environments. This one will cover the prerequisites. So let's go through it. If you're running Windows 7, you don't need to install PowerShell 2.0. It's supposedly part of it. The VM that I made available for download that I'm not going to cover in this video, there will be a video specifically for it that won't be one of the ordered videos of this series, where we will talk about deploying that VM using VMware Desktop 8. But for now, what we're going to do is install it on this local development machine and make it work. So we're running Windows 7 here, 64-bit. We don't need PowerShell, but if you're using an operating system listed here at the top, 2008 or Vista, you will need to install PowerShell 2.0. The other prerequisite is .NET 4 or .NET 3.5, which I have both. Most developers by now will. I know the new .NET version's on the horizon. It's kind of a rewrite of some of the things in .NET 4.0, whatever it is now, but we're not going to be addressing that here. Okay, so the other thing is if you're using Windows 7 and you're going to put AppFabric on it, then you're going to need what's called the IIS Manager for Remote Administration. I haven't installed it yet. I've got it right here just because I do want to show you how to do it. Notice the address at the top. We're going to go ahead and we're going to download it, or I'm going to install it using Microsoft's Web Platform Installer. I'm going to launch the application, and it's going to want permissions. You won't see that box if you're not using the Microsoft Role security engine. So don't worry if you don't get the what they call elevated permissions box. So we're going to go ahead and install it here, and it should pull it down. It's not very big. It's 1.1. You're going to just accept, and it's going to come down. Now for this, I'll let it go ahead and keep recording while we're doing it. In the video, I may very well pause it if it looks like it's going to take a while, anything over about 10 to 20 seconds. So it says we've successfully installed the following products, so we should be good to go there. And you can see other things I've installed. Visual Studio Service Pack 1. I highly recommend you do that. I don't know why it's showing add here because I've already done it. And IIS 7, so it's all there. But if you don't have Service Pack 1, I suggest you put it on before doing this as well. So I'm going to go ahead and exit that. And the platform installer is done. We have the remote management installed. And since this is the first video, we're at about 8.5 minutes. I'm going to go ahead and stop, see if I can publish it successfully. And in video 2, we'll cover actually installing AppFabric.